So I'm Cynthia, and I'm the host of the reality series CPS Horror Stories. I'm not a social worker or an attorney, but I'm a mom who had it. The reason I do this show is because my kids were kidnapped a few years ago, and after fighting for 2 years, I did end up getting my kids back. But I have this platform to just show, the corruption of CPS and what they do to families and how devastating they are to our lives when they don't investigate and stuff. So you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh, she'll go.
My name is Shawn Wesselman. I am 41 years old. I am a mother of 2 children. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. Me and the father, Daniel Brien, have been together for 17 years. We are not married, but we have been together and raised our kids. We haven't had an issue until we moved to Burns. We don't have a history of violence, drug, or alcohol abuse or sexual abuse, but yet they have accused us of all the above. We have gone through the mental test and passed. We went through the drug and alcohol evaluation and passed. We took our parenting classes and passed. I mean, we have offered safety people to come by our house. We have offered for them to step foot in our house and take a look, but they have never once shown up.
Yep.
Wow. So Dan,
Yeah.
you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Hi, I'm Dan O'Brien, and I'm I'm 38 years old. I'm a single father. We're in a relationship. But I have 2 kids that were kidnapped from me. All on allegations, no proof. They were also kidnapped by me by Photoshop pictures. And yeah. And we got proof of all of this.
Wow. I can't wait to hear the proof. I mean, I believe you already. I'm just saying, it's still, I don't know why I allow myself to get shocked when I hear things sometimes, because nothing should shock me when it comes to these people.
It shouldn't. They are scrupulous, manipulative succubus. And I didn't use one swear word.
You didn't. So, did either of you guys have CPS in your life as children?
I kind of did, but I was a baby. I was adopted. When I was 4, I was adopted, so I was through the foster families as a kid. So I don't really remember many of them. But I'm sure that's when CPS was involved with us, because it was called Catholic Charities then.
Why were you in the foster system?
My mother was just a bad mother, I guess. She had a lot of mental problems, and she couldn't do a lot of it as parenting, and it fell on my sister, so they took us away.
Okay. So tell me how and when CPS first came in your life then with your children.
Well, there's actually 2 cases, if you want to be honest about it. 2 years ago, they came into our lives, and 18 hours later, we got our kids back. And then we did 4 months of a safety plan with them, and then the judge dismissed my case. Then that ended that. Then when last year, we applied for a lawyer. We got a lawyer to fight CPS on the first case to get our number out of the CPS case file database. but they wouldn't do it just by us writing letters. So we got a lawyer, and we started the lawsuit on December 25th of last year. In retaliation to our lawsuit, when it went public on December 25th, they came into our lives on January 15th. Was the first card they dropped off. And then 9 days later, they came back with a warrant for my kids.
They did an interview with our son at his school without our knowledge.
Yep. And pretended to be a school counselor, not a CPS worker.
They didn't even inform the principal. She wasn't aware of it until later.
Until we called her and told her who talked to our son.
Our son came home pretty upset, and we asked him what was wrong, and he explained to us that some lady came and spoke to him, said that she was the school counselor, and she made him feel extremely uncomfortable. So we did what parents normally do, call the school, what's going on, who's this person speaking to my child, and why.
Yep.
The principal had no knowledge of it, and she had to do her own work to find out who came and why, because she wasn't there that day. She informed us later on that it was a CPS worker, and we had told her under no circumstances is any CPS worker or officer or anybody like that allowed to talk to our children without us present.
And they have to call us if they show up to talk to our children, and they did not.
So what was the original, and I apologize if I make you repeat yourself, what is the original allegation against you?
This time or the last time?
The first
time. Oh, the first time?
Let's do the first time.
Oh, the first time. It was a messy house. Lack of mental health treatment for my son, which doesn't need mental health treatment.
We were starving him.
We were starving him, which he was on Adderall, so we took him off Adderall, and it fixed everything. And our house was filthy dirty, and they still never stepped foot in our house.
Okay. Yeah. And then the second time?
Second time, our house was filthy dirty.
We leave our son with our daughter all
we
day.
Leave our son to babysit our daughter all day, which he's 15. If I wanted to, I could. Fuck them.
Oh.
Sorry. So sorry.
At the time,
our son, the F word on here, don't worry.
Right.
Our son was going to school. So how could he go to school and take care of our daughter? Every time they showed up,
you guys are slave drivers.
I answered the door.
Dan was home. I work, so I was at work.
But I'm never home.
But they claim that Dan is never home. Well, who answered the door?
What, my 3-year-old answered the door and let cops in? No.
She's home by herself, making everybody dinner.
I was baffled. You know, they came on the 15th. We talked to them, informed them that we had a lawyer, that we had a current ongoing lawsuit against them.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And they
still proceeded with the proceedings without contacting our lawyer first, which is technically against the law.
And they came back 9 days later after the first initial visit with the warrant, with no proof, all allegations.
All allegations, no proof.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means he had a mild retardation.
Yeah.
We're like, no. He has an LD. It has nothing to do with.
Oh, it's on the video. I'm willing to send to you. Trust me.
And she brought up the old case.
Yeah. She brought up our old case. And then in a discovery, she says she knew nothing about this old case. And they're using the old case number as well. And they are, what else was I going to say?
Well, they claimed when we went to court on Monday, they took our kids on a Friday afternoon, which means they were watching the house because they waited until I came home from lunch during work.
Yep.
So they had to be watching our house.
Yep.
And when they came and got our kids, it was a Friday afternoon. Monday morning, we went to court, and then they said that our daughter had a hairline fracture in her collarbone.
Yep.
We had asked for a second opinion. It was denied in court.
Yep.
Automatically. Just
automatically denied.
Where was she when they found the fracture?
On July 24th.
No, January.
Or January 24th. Sorry, I always get those two mixed up. January 24th, they came to my house and I have the whole video. You guys can see it all if you want. They came to my house stating that they had a warrant to take my children under any necessary means they needed to. And I was cooperating with them, and I made them explain it to me, and they wouldn't talk to me. They were being belligerent. They're being ignorant. So was I, though, a little bit, because I was pissed that they were at my house. But I didn't step out of line to where they warrant anything, because I was just an upset father being told they're taking my children. But I told them then, I have a lawyer. I told them during a they sent a cop to our house to do a self-wellness check on my kids. I told them then that I had a lawyer. Not any of these times did they contact my lawyer, and they had to by law. It's by law they had to contact my lawyer once I told them I had a lawyer.
And this is all on video.
And they did not. And this is all on video.
So, as you were saying.
So they said that our daughter had a hairline fracture in her collarbone. We asked for a second opinion. They denied it. They appointed us court-appointed attorneys.
Same ones as the last time, except hers.
Yeah, the one I had last time retired after my case. He was just done with their BS and didn't want any part of it anymore. Mm-hmm. So I got another guy, and he spoke to me briefly, and he honestly, through this whole case, both our lawyers have believed us. They could get a good feel, I guess, after having so many people that they've dealt with over the years. They can tell that there was nothing wrong with us. We allowed their detective to come out, and we didn't have a scheduled time, and he turned around and did an interview with all our neighbors. He came and took photos of our house.
We should have had our kids 4 months ago is what she's getting up to, because 4 months ago we completed everything. We passed all the tests. We passed everything they wanted us to do to complete to get our kids back, and they still will not give us our kids back, because for some reason they think I'm some big monster that's going to destroy these little kids. And so much to a point, they wrote it in Discovery, the lady that watches our supervised visits, wrote in the Discovery that I was looking through a two-way mirror at her so bad that I was reading her thoughts. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
I know. I wish I knew I had that. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm back. I wish I knew I had that. Shit.
I thought them saying that I was able to manipulate this amazing therapist was.
Oh no, I have X-ray vision now.
And he can hear through walls.
And I can hear through walls.
Wow. It amazes me that these people have been in office.
Sorry, like that is just crazy.
Got a job. I know monkeys that can do their job better.
I kind of want to ask them, did you fill out your application with a crayon?
Yeah, really?
Because this is just over and
what,
beyond.
You get it in a Cracker Jack prize box?
I don't understand. I mean, I see families, I work at a grocery store, so I see families all the time with their, children and everything, and I see drug addicts driving around.
Yeah, with kids.
With kids, and they do nothing. But we're, I'm a working mom, and he's a stay-at-home dad, and it's a big problem. What? Because we're in a community where everybody's either married or divorced and we're neither, but we're together and that bothers them. I don't know. We're out of towners. Does that
We're out
bother
of
you?
towners. That's what it is. We moved to a town that's a towning group. And we're out of towners, and I'm 6'2", and I'm a redhead, and I hang out with a lot of people, but it doesn't mean I'm those people. I just hang out with them. And they peg me as a drug dealer here, everything. Yeah. And I've passed, I mean, they've tried to arrest me 13 times here. And they have not arrested me once, except for my first case in CPS when I was fighting for my kids' rights. I got arrested for disorderly conduct and harassment when I swore at my counselor's office. I got arrested for swearing in my counselor's office. No, Loki, go lay down. Yeah, I got literally arrested for that. And then they dismissed it a month later. Anything on me, not CPS, not anything. And yet, this is their last attempt. But they pushed my court date too far back this time. And I'm not waiting.
So do you have unsupervised visits now?
No, we have supervised visits still. We went backwards in the reunification. Before, when this started, the first 4 months, I had 2 visits, personal visits with my kids, and I had 2 phone call visits. Now, I have 1 visit a week, and it's only in person at their office. Because I'm some big manipulator with my son, and somehow I'm influencing him to not like CPS. No, I told CPS, if you stopped your lying to my kid, you would be on his good side. But you're not. You're always lying to him. And he hates it. My kid's 15, by the way.
Where are they living? Are they together?
Yes, they are in the same foster home now. They did separate them at one point. When Tasha Bates promised me on camera that they will not separate my kids no matter what. I asked her one thing when she took my kids, and I said, make sure they do not get separated. And they still separated them for 4 months.
And has any type of abuse happened to them in the system?
Mental. They tried to turn my 15-year-old son against me and Sean. Yeah, our daughter, we don't know yet, but I have a feeling, and I'm going to say it out loud, that the first foster father was a freaking pedo. And I just say that because the first time I saw that guy, the first thing I thought was pedo. I mean, and when I think like that, I know I'm right. And he's a worker at a youth home, detention center, and he just got in trouble for selling pot to kids. Trying to sell pot to kids.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, she wants to speak now.
Our first foster parents, our son had explained to us later once he was removed that when he got there with his sister, they were being persistent about our kids calling them mom and dad. They had told our kids that they weren't allowed to speak to us when they saw us in public, and there was no court order saying that they couldn't say hi to us.
Wait, before we continue, I got to tell you this. When they took my kids, now we've never been accused, guilty, or even thought of as sexual predators in our life, okay? But they did a sex test on my daughter.
3-year-old.
Without us there, which is against the law in the state of Oregon.
If we are not accused, we are supposed to be present during that procedure. They
Yes.
did not make us aware. We didn't even find out about it until one of the discoveries came out with it.
Yep.
And
Honestly.
by sex test, would you like to explain what that is?
Anal swab.
Yeah, an anal swab, a vaginal swab.
So she was
So yes, if
she's
she was,
traumatized.
yeah,
I mean, obviously the test came up negative, but still the fact remains that there were no allegations.
There
Why
was-
would you do that
yeah.
to my 3-year-old daughter?
on the warrant there was no allegations of sexual abuse. So why do they warrant to do a sex test? They weren't, and no judge signed that order. So it's against the law in 3 ways.
That's disgusting.
That is.
Yeah,
I was at work when I found out about it, and I just like broke down and started bawling my eyes out.
yeah, it's
That's my daughter. I can't imagine, what she's wondering, what she's thinking. Where's mom? Where's dad? Why are they doing this to me? And it was making me nervous because, like Dan said, we didn't trust the foster parents. We didn't like them.
I still don't.
They were opposite religion of us. We're Catholics. They're Mormons. Their
Yep.
way of life is different than ours. And they were telling our kids how wrong we were for living the way we were. They were taking our son to Sunday school. And we had told CPS multiple times, we
No
are not
religion.
Mormons. We are Catholic.
Yep.
If you want our kids to go to a church, it has to be Catholic.
They
And-
cut our little girl's hair.
Yeah, they changed the way she looked.
Yep.
They were trying to make her look like their daughter.
Yep, they dyed her hair.
Your 3-year-old?
Yeah. They were parading her around town saying this is their daughter and it's my daughter. People know us here and they were telling me, I don't know why they're doing that. This is your daughter. We know it.
What color? What? Not that it matters. I'm just curious. What color was your hair, and what color did?
Had red hair
And my daughter had brown hair.
like mine. So they were dyeing it red to make it look similar to hers. And they cut the girl's hair
Yep.
the same way. And she was dressing them all up the same and posting pictures
Kissing
on
them.
Facebook and talking
Yep.
about my girls when
Kissing
she never
them on
asked
the
permission
lips.
to put her kids' pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, kissing them on the lips and
Yeah.
saying me and my girls had a great day today.
I didn't know that was allowed to post pictures on.
They're
not.
They have to ask us, and they never did.
Well, we live in a one-horse town where they can get away with anything.
And of course, everybody that knows us was telling us about this because they were seeing it, and they're like, we know who that daughter is, and that's not your daughter. That's Sean and Dan's. We had written letters from family and friends, in-state, out-of-state. My union rep that has known me for years and has seen my family because we've had meetings after work at a restaurant. So I brought the whole family, and he has seen how we are.
My lawyer finally spoke up, and he even said, I've met their kids. I've seen their house. It is fine.
There's no reason for this. I mean, it is just,
Yep.
It's been horrifying because they treat us like we're criminals.
But 3 months ago, we got the Photoshop pictures as evidence to keep our kids in the jurisdiction hearing.
What was the photoshopped pictures?
Photoshop pictures was a bruise on my kid's shoulder for the broken collarbone.
And I went all the way across.
And it went all the way across.
They put a bruise.
Yes.
All the way across.
It was photoshopped twice before it turned in for evidence.
It looked like it was bad.
Diagnosis and everything.
The DA doesn't want to tell my lawyer who did it
Yep.
because he
Oh,
asked.
they know. They know who did it.
They know.
They know.
We know. We know it was Tasha Bates, the one that took our kids, because the last thing I told her is, you're going to find out who I am. And she told me, I never lose a case.
Yep. And my thing is, if she did this to us, who else did she do this to that doesn't have enough
But when we filed for the dismissal,
willpower to fight that?
when we filed for the dismissal, she was there.
Yep.
And she went running out of that courthouse, not talking to no one, because it got put out that it was off her phone those pictures came, and that the Photoshop pictures were put into evidence finally. That's why I'm saying we're going to get our kids back, which is when the courts are going to release them.
We are tired of waiting. We have waited long enough.
But a month and a half court date away is not acceptable to us. We waited 8 months. It is time for our kids to be back. 4 months ago, I showed them the Photoshop pictures. They should have been back then.
Our son, they talk about our children's best interests. Our son, on an IEP, had A's, B's, and 1 C when he was living with us, and we had proof of that. We showed it. We took a copy of his report card with his foster parents that they first put him with, graduated with D's and F's.
Yeah.
Who cared about our kids? Our kids' shots are up to date. They have never missed an appointment. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All the evidence that we've shown them. They said I didn't have insurance on the kids. I have private insurance through Union. Yes, you can't go sneaking on my insurance and find out. But I sent you copies of all their records showing that they're up to date on everything. Why are you saying I don't have insurance? Who do you think paid for this?
Yep.
And they just kept being persistent. You don't have insurance. You don't have insurance. You don't have insurance. And then when we had to fill out another form, Dan asked me for my insurance card because that's where the kids' information is on. And I handed it to him in front of Sarah Cole, who is our caseworker right now. And she was like, "Oh, you have insurance? What do you think I've been saying this whole time?"
Yeah.
And it's not even necessary in the state here to have insurance. But I do because I care about my kids and I want them to have
They
the best
want
of
one
everything.
more and use those pictures to go after us criminally.
Yep. They tried charging us a minimum
And
of
they
10
didn't-
years
and-
in jail.
No, 18 months they wanted us to do in jail.
Yeah, but they tried that 10-year thing.
But it didn't work because those were suppressed because they were Photoshopped. So my criminal case is over.
Yep.
Eh,
The judge that we had in the beginning that signed the warrant retired. So we have an old judge that came back to help fill out until they find a new judge.
Which actually is the one that dismissed our first case.
Yep. She's the one that dismissed our first case. When she saw that the evidence, sorry.
No,
What?
I'm sorry. I'm in such a state of shock that they.
When the judge saw that the photos were photoshopped and she saw that the investigating officer took evidence illegally, she suppressed all that and dismissed the case.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing.
There's nothing other than those pictures. Oh, they also said they had x-rays of my daughter's broken collarbone.
We've requested it multiple times.
We requested it, and they still haven't come up with them to this day. And the doctor retracted his statement saying that, oh, no, there was no x-rays taken. It was only pictures because we wouldn't put a 3-year-old through that.
Bullshit.
But to put a 3-year-old through a sex test?
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot that's not.
It doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. So when we're done with this and we do get our kids back, we're suing the heck out of this state. Everybody's going down the head a part of this. Oh, and I also told the lady on video that in this case, that if they put my kid in mental health, that I will sue them. And they not only put my kid in mental health, they put him back at the place we fired and with the same counselor we fired in the last case. Yep.
And the guy tried speaking to me at work on the clock.
Oh, yeah. You know not to speak to me. I'll put him through a wall.
I looked at him. I go, do not talk to me.
Yep.
And I told my lawyer about it. The detective
Lay down,
that
Logie.
did our interviews illegally was coming in my work. He was patrolling the parking lot because I was out on the grill working, barbecuing ribs from work. And he would patrol it all the time.
Oh, we even have a videotape of him going up to her while at work to talk about this case.
Yep.
Video footage of it. And
You can
he's not
tell.
supposed to approach people at work to talk about cases.
And I even mentioned that I have a lawyer, and he ignores that and keeps going on
Yep.
with the questioning.
Yep, he never once asked us, do you want your lawyer present while I question you?
And he did the same thing to him. He showed up after our visit with our kids and pulled Dan in another room in the office, in the CPS office, and
Talk to me about it.
talked to him about
And
it.
I awared him that I have a lawyer. He talked to him, and he said, are you willing to talk? And I go, I'm willing to talk, but I'm just letting you know I have a lawyer. I'd rather him be here. And he's like, well, then, and he continued talking about the case and asked me questions and didn't ask me, do you want your lawyer present? Which null and voided his statements then.
That's how that got suppressed. The judge that has the case now, she was utterly disgusted.
Yeah, that he broke the law like that.
And then the DA wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, the DA wanted to appeal it, but the judge won't let him.
And it's not that we said anything incriminating, she just took it away because he violated our constitutional right.
To obtain that information.
And this is a detective that works this town.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be a really good detective. Well, then why do you feel that you have to obtain information illegally?
But I'm going to have to get going, and so is she, because we have an appointment with our family therapist right now.
Okay. Do you guys want to pick this up another time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I would like to finish.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would love to
definitely.
finish. I thought it was going to be quicker, but it wasn't.
You have a very in-depth story, and there's a lot of comments, so I know people are going to want to hear the rest.
Well, yeah, definitely. We'll finish this another time. Just let me get on with my therapist, and I'll text you after I'm done.
And we
Right.